Alright, welcome to another Wednesday Co video, and I thought this week we would do something slightly different. Instead of reviewing a song, we'd do an unboxing of the new live album. So obviously the classic live album came out in the late 70s, having been recorded through Norwich in the end of 76, was released in 77 in the old gatefold vinyl. And I assume it was out in cassette as well. And then, obviously, when CD came along, there was that big kind of double CD, that fat double CD case. And then in 2005, I think, was the first remaster with sleeve notes and that for Dave Ling. Unfortunately, my copy seems to be a bit slightly broken. But the interesting thing about this was, of course, that the running order changed, because obviously one of the limitations of vinyl is you can only have so much time on each side. So when you've got tracks like 4500 Times and Roadhouse Blues, and even Bye Bye Johnny, you have to place them carefully on each side of vinyl so that they fit. And then so in 2013-14 we got this nice deluxe box, although for some reason the track listing reverted back to the original vinyl version, away from what the order it actually played it in. Conversely, the less celebrated Live Alive Co., which when it came out in 92, again when you've got the Roadhouse medley, which is about 20 odd minutes long, it needed a side of vinyl on its own. So the vinyl edition had the running order slightly different from what they played in the gig, but obviously the original CD didn't have that problem, so the songs were in the right order. But when its remaster came out in about 14, 15, 2006, sorry, the earlier one, it went with the vinyl track listing. So Caroline and the encore comes before Roadhouse Blues. There you go. I think the people curating the Co stuff, they're never really big on it, the minute details sometimes. But anyway, the 2014 one was a nice solid box with a little upside down ticket. Came with that, which I assume is a copy of the programme, which very little writing, but lots of adverts for stuff. Radio Luxembourg. So that's a bit superfluous, but did contain a nice little hardback book with some text. This had linear notes from Dave Ling. I think I said Dave Ling for the other CD. It was Gary Fielding for the 2005 one. And then you got 3 CDs: a remaster of the album, a remaster of Tokyo Co., which is just basically an abridged version of the album, and then a CD of a gig from Australia in 74, which I think the big thing from that was it had a live version of Claudie, but it was one of these bootleg ones, so I think it's pretty much not very listenable. Sound quality isn't that great, but hopefully sound quality in this is very good, and hopefully this is actually the Co album, because that'll make this a bit of a rubbish video if I open this and it's something else. HMV, the Royal Mail sent me an email on Saturday saying, "Oh, we've failed to deliver because it doesn't seem like there's anybody in." And I thought, oh, I must have just been at the back of the house when they were at the door. And then today they delivered it by just putting it through the letterbox. I'm like, well, why can't you just put it through the letterbox on Saturday? Or did you just decide you couldn't be bothered delivering, so you started to send an email saying, "Oh, we tried." But anyway, it is the new 8 CD Quo Live. Personally, I think that's 2 CDs too many, because as you've seen, I have 2 remasters of the original album already, so I didn't need that again. But obviously I am keen to hear the remixes of the 3 separate nights. What I've read so far, everyone seems to think they're better sounding than the original album. And to be honest, sacrilegious as I know, my kind of go-to Quo Live stuff has always been the NEC gig. I always preferred that to the Quo album. Obviously that's an abridged version, but fortunately there was a full version of the NEC gig on this. And then actually also my growing up, many my videos of the End of the Road were always something I would, if I wanted a live fix, much more likely to go to than this album. But I'm hoping that the remix might have changed that. So there you go, there's the hype sticker, lost forever. And here it is. Now, obviously more of a budget record label, so you got this nice solidy box with in 2014 more got this kind of more flimsy cardboard slipcase. So for your 60 quid, 62 quid I think I paid for this. As I've seen other people comment, it's not the greatest packaging, but that's quite a nice book. Again, like 2014, the liner notes by Dave Ling, but it seems to be quite a lot of text, and actually looks quite nice. Because that's one thing with the 2005, it's got the text, it just, you know, looks like typewriter on a bland bit of white paper. It's not a great layout, but this seems lots more professionally done. And then we have 2 fold out cases for the CDs. So there we go. Quo Live, that's CD5, 28th of October 1976. So yeah, those 2 outer CDs are easy to get out, but this, the kind of the inner ones are not coming out very well. I might just leave that until I'm actually going to pull it out and play it. So that's obviously the second half of the collection, and then the first half, which has obviously got the old photos of the band from the vinyl version. Oh, it's and some old newspaper clippings. I'm going to have a read through of them later. And there you go. It's CD1, which is obviously the original album remastered. This is the one that probably won't get much spend much time on the CD player. So yes, now I just have to go off and put them on and crank it up. That's my Status Quo Live. Okay, so I now have had a listen to the new Quo Live box set. Oh, well, I say that, I've only listened to the first night. I decided I'd work through it chronologically. So I had that on yesterday evening. And yes, I think it's a hell of a lot better than the original version, which as I had said, it wasn't my go-to live Quo. I know it's highly regarded by a lot of people and seen as the peak of Quo, but I never found it that brilliant or exciting. But I think the new mix really completely breathes new life into it, and really shows off the band and their prowess, and the mix just sounds, there's so much energy coming off it and coming off the crowd. It's first of all, it was interesting to hear the different intro from Jackie Linton. There was a lot more crowd noise before it came in, so it seemed a slight so yeah, it really, I mean, I know it's from one night, but it really did feel like it was just one gig that you were listening to, with all the extra Rossi little chat and complaining about Lancaster taking too long to tune his bass. And in the track "Is There a Better Way?" I was like, oh, I've not heard that before, and it was the keyboards which are there, because you've always seen on the original said keyboards by Andy Brown, but goodness knows you can never hear them. And obviously I'm not a great advocate of the keys and the Co, but it was interesting to hear them come through, and they were fine on that song. They were understated and added a little bit of niceness, not like in later years when he comes into stuff and takes over songs which really don't require keyboards. So yeah, I think it's absolutely fantastic remix. It's really, for me, has breathed new life into the album, and thoroughly justifies doing it and releasing this package. Obviously, Co are very conservative in their set list, so it is a bit of a shame. It's the 3 nights are exactly the same set, but I do look forward to hearing nights 2 and 3. And picking out the little differences. I don't see myself ever going back and listening to the original version again. I think it's night and day for me how much better the remixes are. So I'm completely thrilled with that, and I'll be listening to it a lot. Hopefully in coming weeks when I'm doing song reviews, there's a few tracks come up which are from that, and I can maybe do a wee comparison of them over the 3 nights as well as the studio version. So yes, I highly recommend you forking out your cash on that if you're able to. So yes, so that was my unboxing of the new 8 CD Status Quo Live box set, and hopefully you'll join me again next week for a random Status Quo song review.
I had mixed feelings about fate, but I had to tell